Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Star Wars Celebration! Actual things to be excited about? Actual good news? Well, color me surprised. Color me surprised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the stream. It's going to be a juicy one. It's going to be a big one today, man. Lots to get into. Lots to talk about with regards to Star Wars and what not. I got to tell you, right off the bat, a couple of things we got to get into right away. This is going to be a little different than most of our Friday streams. Number one, no gambling. I know. Just get it out of your system. Get it out of your system now. Let me know how upset you are, how butthurt you are. No gambling today. Let me know. Just get it out of your system. Get it out of your system. We'll do it on Monday. Okay, we'll do it on Monday because here's the thing: if we put the gambling on here, it's just going to take over the chat, and this is going to be a big stream. This is a very involved stream, and I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what's going on. Our regularly scheduled Friday stream is going to be pushed back to Monday. Today, we are just talking about the celebration stuff. We're going to talk about all the new announcements. We got to kind of dive deep, and I want to give focus to this discussion, and so therefore, no gambling. But I will promise you this: Monday stream. Very cool, very fun, tons of gambling and also giveaways. We're going to give a ton of awesome stuff away. A whole bunch of Marvel Legends stuff, some Star Wars stuff. We're going to do a bunch of, we're going to do a lot of fun stuff on Monday stream. So I'll make it up to you guys then and there for all of it. And the other thing that we've got to talk about is, yes, I'm wearing the Harry Potter glasses today. It is what it is. My other pair's broken. I can't find the one other pair. Get off my back! And also Expelliarmus on that ass. Okay, so there we go on all of that. Okay, let's get into it. This is kind of crazy. I can't really no data. The hell? What in the good Lord's name is going on here? Are we live or not? The heck? Is Lucasfilm trying to pull the plug? Is Mickey Mouse trying to end our shit? Okay, we're back. It seems like we're good now. Okay, so this is what I wanted to know from you guys. Where's your hype level? How are you feeling? Are you excited? Out of 10, where are you at? Where are you at with all of this stuff? Okay, because I want to hear what you guys have to say before I kind of go into my spiel about all of this. Okay, and oh man, we've got a lot to get into. Okay, so it seems like a lot of hype. There are a few people out there that kind of have it lower, some mid-tier, 6.5 out of 10s, you know? Yeah. So I just got to say, here's my take on it. Okay? Number one, I wanted to point out that I am conflicted about the announcements. Okay? So I want to tell you this. I'm conflicted about it. There's a part of me, and there's a part of me that's like really, really excited, and there's a lot to get excited about within all of these announcements. Okay? But there's also a lot of, like, if I really think about it and I start to really see what's going on, there are cracks in this announcement, and there are reasons to be skeptical. There are all sorts of ways that this could all fall apart. And so I want to explain the full picture to you guys, okay? I will say this, though. Having said that I am conflicted, I am incredibly impressed with the level of hype that they were able to generate from these announcements. And the fact that, given the state of things, which we're going to talk about in just a second, because Jeff Snyder sort of confirmed, you know, a lot of stuff that I was talking about on Wednesday, and I did a big video yesterday about it. Given the state of things, it's very impressive that they have this slew of announcements, and I think to people that aren't necessarily as sweaty as some of you guys are, as nerdy as we are, and we're like constantly like checking out the news and all that, to the sort of average normie viewer, you're getting all of this stuff and you're like, damn, this sounds really cool. It seems like they have this big plan. They're doing all these 3 movies in these 3 different eras. Like, this is dope. Like, oh man. So I got to give them credit for that. I don't want to like dock them points. I actually want to give them credit for that, because it's the job of the studio, especially from the perspective of like, what is celebration, right? Like, what are you trying to do here? You're trying to get people excited about the future, hyped up about how all this stuff can fit together. And from that perspective, Star Wars has sucked ass at that for like a long time, especially the past couple of years. I want you to think about Star Wars Celebration last year, and then I want you to think about Star Wars Celebration the year before. And this weird limbo that we've been in as Star Wars fans. I mean, guys, Star Wars Celebration last year was essentially just talking about projects we had heard since 2019. That's what it was. And they're just like, okay, yeah, that's still coming and we're still working on it, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So there are, I mean, within recent memory, a lot of like fumbling the ability to build hype in this weird limbo period that we are in, okay? But again, I want to give them credit because this was solid in the sense that it gives us a lot of stuff to look forward to. It pulls together some of these threads that have appeared very loose in their other shows and in their other material. And so kudos to them for doing a panel that wasn't live streamed, that still was able to generate the hype that it was able to generate. And I say, this is why, by the way, I know I got to do that very Josh thing and be like, this is what I was talking about before, motherfuckers. You didn't get it then. God damn it. Listen to me. This is why I was so frustrated last year and the year before. The feeling that I have right now, which, man, it really did take me back, especially initially upon waking up and like going through all the announcements, watching the Ahsoka trailer, hearing all the crazy stuff about the movies. It took me back to like being at Celebration in Chicago, being at Celebration in Orlando, having a true love and just getting like really hyped up and excited for it. It is essential. It is the lifeblood to a franchise like Star Wars that is so fan-based. It is based on this huge fan base. That's why it has what it has, the prestige, and you have to, I think, care for that garden. You know what I mean? And that's why I was so upset all of the previous years. And so, again, credit to them for doing this, okay? Very, very cool. Now, the other thing, and I'm sure many of you guys kind of feel me on this, and please put a one in the chat if you feel me on this. After thinking about all these announcements, it became, like, to me, it was clear, and I feel very strongly that I would be much more confident in all of this stuff if Kathleen Kennedy was gone. Okay? Like, that's another part of why it's like, ooh, because at the end of the day, this is all stuff that's being promised by a company, by a person, by a president that has failed to deliver on many other promises. That's just facts, okay? You know, you can get toxic about it. You can try to be toxically positive about it. You could, whatever. You're right. But that's just facts. These are announcements coming from a person and a president that has dropped the ball many times and not delivered on promises, okay? So, it's like hard to get all the way excited about this because it's still coming out on her watch. I mean, I will show you some of the comments and replies on Twitter that I've been receiving after like sharing some of this stuff and being excited. And a lot of the comments are like, yeah, great, 3 movies that will never get made. And I know that might be a damper and it's like, oh man, but let's just get excited. Guys, that's facts. Like, that is an earned reputation. That is what she has done, right? So again, it's like, it's kind of tricky. The other side of this that's of course very weird is like, this is the week that their hit show, to me, really sort of had a pretty noticeably bad episode, and a lot of information came out about drama behind the scenes. You know, last night on the podcast with John Roca and Jeff Snyder, they talked literally about the stuff that I talked to you guys about on Wednesday night, about the reality of some drama with Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy, how she absolutely was tinkering with things. It was totally her call to just jettison Grogu back into the Mandalorian in that really awkward way. And he did almost leave, right? So I talked about it then. I feel even more confident about it now because Jeff, in my opinion, very reliable person, and he talked about it, right? So it's weird that on a week where the MandoVerse, as it exists now in front of our eyes, is said to culminate in a big film, which, don't get me wrong, I'm really excited about just simply because it is Dave Filoni. But, like, just really, like, think about that. Again, I'm not trying to, like, totally rain on your parade if you're excited. But I think it's important to note that, like, we're getting excited about a MandoVerse culmination film when the MandoVerse itself is at least half not great. Book of Boba and Mando 3, right? So it's like, okay. All right. Now, as far as what this plan actually is and what's going on here, the other thing that I want to bring up is that this is a version of a plan that has long been established. I mean, how long have I been talking to you guys about the MandoVerse? How long have we been playing around with the idea that this might culminate in something like Heir to the Empire? That what they're building with Thrawn, what they're building in the MandoVerse with Filoni and John, is going to be Heir to the Empire. Yeah, like 3 years. Right? So this is a version of that plan that's already been established. The other thing that's really interesting is you look at this Mangold film, right? And I'm excited about the Mangold film. Like, whoa, like this is dope. But this is Taika's movie, in my opinion. Now, there's no confirmations of that. I haven't heard that from anybody. But let's just think about it. Let's just put on our thinking caps. You've got a Taika Waititi movie with those weird ships that bring people to Tython, talking about, you just look at the graphical stuff and some of the stuff they said about Taika's movie. This is the dawn of the Jedi film that Taika was going to do. But okay, first of all, let's talk about pros and cons on that, right? I got some notes here. Everybody shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Pros. Fuck yeah. Mangold over Taika all day. First of all, that would be the case almost regardless of the project, but it's especially the case now after Love and Thunder and just after, like, Taika's cachet on social media has gone way down. Like, a lot of people are super over this dude. And I don't want him to be the guy that's going back to one of my favorite periods in Star Wars. The Dawn of the Jedi books. Man, that stuff was brilliant. I love that stuff with, like, the Rakatan Empire, Zesh, the Ashla, the Bogan. They did have, like, Rancor dragons. I've showed you guys some of this shit. If you've been a long-time member, if you've been kicking it for a while, we've went over this. I've said, like, dude, this stuff's fucking awesome, bro. So I absolutely love that. I love that. And I think Mangold is great for that. But this is not the, how do I say this? This is a version of the plan that has been adjusted over time. It just seems like they were like, okay, well, we just did this huge Indiana Jones movie with you, James Mangold. You like the process over here. We like you. Come over and take over for Taika, right? But they don't come out and say that on stage, right? That's not what they're saying. But my point, and what I'm saying here is, there's a lot of good there. It's like, dude, yes, James Mangold is an incredible filmmaker. Absolutely incredible. However, what if this fucking Indiana Jones movie is dog shit, bro? And I don't know that it's going to be dog shit, but it just feels like another weird way to link more Kathleen Kennedy stuff. Right? Like, so this Indiana Jones thing and Mangold and that whole operation over there, and then now he's going to just be that guy? Like, dude, if Indiana Jones comes out and, number one, underperforms, number two, does some of the stuff that the rumors and leaks are saying it's going to do, that's not the move, bro. Like, that's not the move, right? So, again, even though I'm excited, I have some concerns, guys. I have some concerns. About that project and about the way that Lucasfilm is positioning themselves for the future stuff. We've already talked about the Heir to the Empire movie. I think it's great, but issues there. Now let's talk about Rey returning. Okay. Somebody says James Mangold debunked that stuff. He did. But I gotta be honest with you. I still feel weird about it because Kevin Smith debunked all that stuff about the He-Man show, and yeah, he was lying when he debunked it, right? So I'm a little bit like, for all our sakes, I hope that James is telling the truth. I hope that those rumors and the bullcrap is not real. But if it is, and it goes a bad way, then like I'm just looking at it from 1,000 miles away. I'm just trying to read the terrain. And to me, like, again, kudos to them. This is a big announcement. This is awesome. A lot of hype generated. But when I really think about it, I'm like, so they did it again and replaced somebody kind of quickly behind the scenes. Now Mangold's just going to do that. I like Mangold, but this Indiana Jones thing, and the Indiana Jones thing could end up being a huge detriment to the... What incarnation? What's going on? Are we back? Oh my God. I don't know if we're going to be able to actually talk about that real shit anymore. They're watching the tower. They're watching the tower. Oh my God. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about Rey. First of all, yes, I told you so. She is back. And I'm surprised at how they like just straight up bring her back and talk about the new Jedi Order, talk about how she's going to be rebuilding the Jedi Order. And that's the movie with the Miss Marvel director. I'm sorry, I still don't know her name because she's not a household name. Sorry. Not sorry. The Miss Marvel director. And no more Damon Lindelof. That's the movie with Rey. That's the movie that's coming out in 2025. So, here's the thing. I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. I am open to this shit. I actually don't hate Rey like most of you guys hate Rey. There are redeeming qualities for the character. I actually, even though I think the sequels are horrible and they were really bad for the brand, I don't hate Rey so much that I'm just gonna swear her off forever, right? I'm not quite as mad about it as Theory is, right? And even Theory, I think, has softened up on that a little bit, and he's a little bit more open to it. I am genuinely, truly open to it, and I hope that she's done justice, and that the movie's dope, and that whatever they do, maybe with Grogu, maybe not, they establish this new Jedi Order, and we have new fun things with the Jedi moving forward, right? 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker is interesting, but here's the sort of flip side and the downside of that. Okay, this plan sounds cool. Filoni getting a movie, fuck yeah, like let's go. Heir of the Empire being told via MandoVerse and then culminating in a movie, fuck yeah, I'm down. But the first movie back, the one you're actually scrambling to make behind the scenes, is the Rey one, right? And so out of all three of the movies, the one that is the most divisive, the one that I think is the least interesting, to be honest, like even if you didn't hate Rey, the least interesting movie is a pseudo trilogy to the sequel trilogy 15 years after establishing the new Jedi Order. Like, how can that compete with the Heir to the Empire movie and the Dawn of the Jedi movie? It can't. So why is the least hyped, most controversial movie the one that's coming out in 2025? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Maybe they'll switch it around. But I just don't think that's the winning formula. You know? Like, so here's, like, man, again, guys, what is the story of the day for Josh? Conflicted. conflicted. There are shades here of like, yo, like we're back. Like legitimately, it feels like, ooh, like, yeah, we're back. More information about, you know, Dave and him having more control. The Ahsoka trailer is fan-fucking-tastic. We're gonna break down the Ahsoka trailer. We're gonna talk about it because it's so cool. Some fun stuff coming out about Mando, how that's actually, they are gonna tie it to Thrawn. That's crazy, I can't believe it, but there's actual evidence that they're gonna tie it to Thrawn. So there's like this huge part of me that's like, dude, baby, we're back. But brothers and sisters, friends of mine, dearly beloved, all y'all motherfuckers, listen up. This is the same team that has done all the horrible shit that has gotten us to this point where we even need to feel like we're back. So I have some serious dissonance. I would be much more excited and confident with all of this if KK was like gone. Like imagine they do all the stuff they just did and then KK says, and by the way, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys sometime. You know what I mean? And behind the scenes, guys, like it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And so it is a good day. You know what I mean? A good day. And I am excited about a lot of this stuff. But years and years and years has sort of taught me the lesson, especially when it comes to Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy, to curb your expectations a bit and to try and see it for what it is. The best scenario here, the best case scenario, is that regardless of all the little bumps in the road and the blemishes and the problems behind the scenes, that they will put together some absolutely incredible stuff. But like, if this first movie isn't great, like great, like it has to be great. Then I really don't know that any of this other really cool stuff matters. There will be serious brand damage, even more than there already is, you know? So that's kind of my thoughts. Now, I will say we saw some footage, and maybe some of you guys saw it online as well. There's footage out for the Acolyte, which looks actually really cool. Like the Acolyte footage in the trailer that leaked seems really cool. Okay, legitimately awesome. The Skeleton Crew stuff, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like it looks okay. How are you guys feeling about Skeleton Crew? You know what I mean? Like, how are you guys feeling about Skeleton Crew? Because to me, like, there's interesting stuff going on there. Like, Jude Law's character is going to be called The Teacher, and he's a Jedi and stuff. Yeah, it looks okay. And I think one of the things I saw about it was, like, Kathy is heavily involved in the production of Skeleton Crew, which is like, don't say that shit, basically. So that's cool. And I think that those projects will be pretty fun. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else before we get into the Ahsoka Mando stuff. I don't know if there is. I think that's kind of most of the stuff. Oh, there was Andor 2 stuff, but I don't think they did any like trailers or anything like that. Yeah. Summer 2024 for sure. I expect the second season of Andor to be much better. Okay? Yeah, I expect it to be much better. Okay, now let me give you let's turn the positivity up a little bit here. Let's actually get excited about something, because I legitimately believe, guys, that despite all of the chaos and despite all of the bullcrappery that's going on at Star Wars, there is one human being that, so long as this human being is involved over at Lucasfilm, we have hope. And it would appear that this human being is not only going to put out some pretty incredible shit, but may well be the person that they are codifying the entire Star Wars brand around. Okay, so before the shit even dropped today, Jeff Snyder had this pretty incredible scoop talking about how, like, Dave is essentially being positioned as the new George Lucas. They are positioning him for his own movie, and beyond the movie, they are going to try to just make basically all Star Wars kind of culminate around like Dave and his vision for future stuff. Okay, and so to me, this kind of feels like this awesome silver lining within all the stuff that's been going on at Disney with Star Wars, because it's possible that we've somehow landed in this scenario where the brand of Star Wars is kind of, you know, it's gone through some tough times, but it essentially has led them to a place where they're more apt to give Dave the movie, where they're more apt to give Dave control, because they can't get any super big names like that anymore. This is not 2014, 2015, 2016. This is a totally different time period. And so I think that if anything, man, it's like, to me, sometimes you have, you know, have you ever heard of like acceleration theory? It's like if you really want change, sometimes it's best to let the bad stuff just pile up, because then the particular like people in that situation get desperate and have to like make a change very quickly. And so I'm very excited for the possibility that they just give Dave more. Like, I'll be honest with you, I would personally, if I was in charge and just looking at what was going on, I would drop everything and give Dave an entire sequel. Like episodes 10, 11, and 12. I would literally just give it to Dave, written and directed. Dave Filoni, go. And it's technically possible that after these next couple of years of building out the MandoVerse and doing Heir to the Empire, we might arrive there. We might get to that place. And one of the reasons this is so exciting, of course, is because of the Ahsoka trailer. So let's take a peek at this Ahsoka trailer. And let's break down the different elements and have a little discussion about it. Let me pause this music. And I also want to say, guys, we are going to be kind of talking about spoilers here, because this movie, or this trailer rather, lines up with the spoilers and the leaks. And that is awesome, because damn, are those leaks and spoilers awesome. But it also means we've seen barely anything of how really crazy this show's going to get. And so if you don't want to know anything about the leaks or the spoilers, you might want to check out while we go over this. But yeah, let's get it. We'll just watch it through one time and then we'll break it down, okay?
Something's coming. Something dark. I sense it.
Love the red
This
logo,
is
man.
Beginning. For some, war. For others, power.
Damn. The music is fucking tight.
It's been a while.
Toy!
Things have changed. I started hearing whispers about Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
Oh, she said it! She said it!
We have to prepare for the worst. The Jedi fell a long time ago. There aren't many
Ezra.
left.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
Hot damn. Man, again, to think that we might really and truly be at the start of a completely new era for Star Wars, where like the guy that probably should have just been doing this shit the whole time has finally like risen to the level where they're comfortable with it. It's just crazy. So a couple of different really interesting things going on in the show. This, I'm not entirely 100% sure, and I'll mute this shit. Not 100% sure what or where this is, right? We see a lot of these like statues. This could even be like Exegol or something like that, although it doesn't, it feels obviously more light side than Exegol. But if you look in here, what you can notice is a lot of the same imagery as the world between worlds. And so this is likely a temple very similar to the one that's on Lothal, and a way for her to enter the world between worlds. This is something that's heavily rumored for the Ahsoka show, is that she will be going into the world between worlds, and she's essentially going to learn about destiny, and she's going to learn that regardless of any choice she would have made, it would have brought her to a certain place that she is going to go in this show. This whole idea of like mysticism and really cool stuff like that. It's really awesome. So the red in the Lucasfilm, man, I absolutely love any time they evoke the dark side with a lot of like the imagery or the titling or the logos or whatever, right? Even going into Rise of Skywalker, there was a certain level of hype. Going into The Last Jedi, before we knew what that was going to be, there was a lot of hype because of all the like the red and the way they utilized that. The other thing that I think is, if you really think about it and look at this, man, there's something going on, like some movement here. I don't think this is just red. I think this may well be either the New Beyond itself, or perhaps something that you have to kind of get through to get into the New Beyond. Because in The Rise of Skywalker, we see that getting to Exegol, you have to go through all these crazy, dangerous, hyperspace lanes and things like that. We see it a couple of different times in the movie. And so that strikes me that that is likely what that is. That's the actual New Beyond, or something connected to the New Beyond there, right? So then we get a shot of Sabine with her helmet, her hair, and I think she's like watching the same image that Ezra gave. But the other thing is, here we get Baylan speaking. And this is Ray Stevenson's character. This is a character that Making Star Wars has talked a lot about in their leaks and reports. A Jedi that survived Order 66, that has gone to the dark side and is working for Thrawn. Okay, and this dude looks awesome, super imposing. He's got that thicker lightsaber, which we're going to talk about in a second, because actually the look of the lightsaber I think could be improved a lot. But regardless, this Baylan dude sounds awesome. Like these lines that he's delivering through the trailer, oh man, love a good dark side, dark Jedi, Sith villain, and sometimes the dialogue, and it's like very soap opera-y, right? But it's this gravitas that he brings into these lines. Super awesome, man. Get a Loth Wolf over here, or a Loth Cat. And then, so you've got these robots, okay? Robots that are fighting Ahsoka. This appears to also be at the temple. She's already kind of gone down into the temple. So this is her kind of coming out. Now, I don't know if we get a really great shot of this or not. Oh, maybe here. But some of the symbols and the stuff that's on the side of this droid is very similar to what you see with the droids that were protecting Elsbeth in that episode of Ahsoka. And so these are essentially sort of murder droids that work for Thrawn, but in this part of the season, they're likely to be kind of working for Elsbeth, and Baylan and Shin are like the bodyguards of Morgan and Elsbeth at this point. I think this is entering the New Beyond. If you guys aren't aware, the current rumor is that the show's kind of going to be split into two parts. First half of the season, learning about the New Beyond, building a ship to be able to get into the New Beyond, and then the back half of the season will actually show them in the New Beyond. But so these droids, I mean, they look freaking sweet, man. And I'm excited to see more action here. Now, this, of course, is the Ghost. And what's the little, is it the Phantom? I forget what the thing was, the little part of the Ghost that comes off. And some kind of like heist and or operation over here. Pretty crazy. We'll see that it is Hera driving this part of the Ghost. What's this part of the Ghost called, guys? Chat, help me out here. Is it the Phantom? Okay, cool. Yeah, so we see Hera, and I think she looks great, man. I think she looks great. She's a little, and maybe we'll see that this looks differently when we get other angles and whatnot. She does look a little younger than Hera. The Hera I would imagine at this point in time. The other thing that's really interesting about this, and this was another leak that I think just came out from Making Star Wars, they did cast, or there's rumors that Jason Syndulla, who's the son of Hera and Kanan, will also be in the show, which would be awesome, because I like that character a lot. Always, just wondered what they would do with that, how force sensitive is this kid, etc., etc. Because Kanan was a very powerful Jedi. Chopper doing his thing. Let's go. So there he is. This is Balin. This is Ray Stevenson's Balin. And this right here is Shin. So this is his apprentice. And she's got these quicker lightsabers. This looks to be like a Republic vessel. Some kind of new Republic vessel. And so she's doing her lightsaber thing here. I like it, man. I really like the design of this character. Feels very, anime-esque. Feels very similar to some stuff maybe we saw in Visions. And I love that kind of influence. Dave is taking a lot of influence from samurai stuff, anime. A lot of Eastern influences are coming into Star Wars for this show. And I think for his movie, and maybe for Star Wars just in general moving forward. Now, let's talk about the saber itself. I don't necessarily mind the color. I know some of you guys, like I see it in chat right now, you're upset about the color. You're upset about the orange. It's not necessarily the color that I'm upset with. This is something that Theory was talking about maybe last week, maybe the week before. But we were talking about how the lightsabers, and this was after the episode where Homie saved Grogu. And we were all like, man, like, I don't know. There's something off about the way they do these sabers. I think they need to touch them up in post a little bit. And look, I think there's like a way that we could kind of get that information to Lucasfilm, in a respectful, non-toxic way. And then they'll obviously listen to us and fix it up. I don't know if that shit will happen. But I do wish that they would fix it just a little bit, like... I don't know if it's necessarily too thick, but it needs to feel not like it's a actual glowing fake, combat saber that, you could get on your own. It needs to feel like that's a beam of actual light and energy. So I think they need to adjust that slightly. But regardless, dude, the movement, the design of this character, dude, Shin is awesome. Like, that is cool, man. That is super cool. I really like that cut, too. I thought it was great. The music in this part, man, where she's like exiting with the X-Wings and whatnot. And this might be a sort of part that's... I think they're going to redo the epilogue from Rebels, or at least parts of it, in live action, which is really, really interesting. And I'm super excited to see that because I'm a massive Rebels fan. I know not everybody loves Rebels, but I'm telling you, I love Rebels, man. And then this is her coming back. It's been a while. Things have changed, and this is, she's going to kind of bring them back. And then this shot here is so interesting, right? So she's trying to warn the New Republic, Ahsoka, I believe, trying to warn the New Republic about Thrawn, about the heir to the Empire. And oh, baby, I got something really crazy to talk to you guys about in just a second about what's going to be happening in the next episode of The Mandalorian. Holy shit. And by the way, I was kind of wrong. Because damn, dude, they're doing it in Mando, and it's crazy. But this is kind of interesting because she's going to hear and understand how bad this is and warn them. And the New Republic probably ain't going to do nothing about it. We get a shot from behind the back of Grand Admiral Thrawn here. This is Lars Nicholson as Thrawn. And probably not only going to be Thrawn in this show, but maybe other shows, and hopefully the movie. Because I think when they say Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire, bro, that to me is like what the movie's going to be. Does anybody doubt that? Like, does anybody feel like that's crazy? Like, they're going to build towards heir, and then heir to the Empire with maybe a young Luke, like maybe young Han Solo, maybe Leia, maybe everybody. I feel like that's the movie, right? Like, how do you culminate everything that's currently being set up via the Mandalorian without making it heir to the Empire? Like, what would the culmination be? Like, heir to the Empire happens in the next season, and then something else is introduced that's even crazier? I doubt it. I strongly feel like Heir to the Empire is the movie, and that's what they're going to build to, which is pretty crazy, okay? So let's keep going here. Dude, this is so awesome. So this is Elsbeth in that same ship that we just saw Grand Admiral Thrawn in, okay? One of the most recent rumors about the show is that Elsbeth, this character, what she was doing on Corvus in the second season of The Mandalorian was basically strip mining that planet to be able to build a vessel that is capable of getting into the New Beyond. Whatever's going on in the New Beyond, it's like it's a very hard place to get to. You can't just fly a ship there. So this, I think, could end up being that ship that she built that's going to get into the New Beyond, which would mean that the shot we saw previously of Thrawn walking into this ship and then he sits down on this fucking throne, that might be the end of Ahsoka Season 1. The end of Ahsoka Season 1 might be, oh shit, he's actually coming back into the known galaxy now. Oh, which would be crazy. But regardless, it looks cool, man. I like the design. Now, what in God's name is this shot here? Well, this is Balin, and he's having a fight with Ahsoka, and it feels like this could be the New Beyond, or rather the world between worlds. But my question is, what's up with like the excavation lights, what is this, like cameras and stuff like that? It almost feels like this is something that would be behind the set, right? With all this stuff. So I'm not really sure what that's about. Perhaps they're trying to crack into the world between worlds, or they're trying to crack into another dimension or time. I don't really know. But I love the design of Balin here. I think it's pretty freaking sick. Now, again, we're going to see this crazy lightsaber fight. Look at that armor, man. I really like that. This thing is supposed to be like, and you can sort of notice down here on the hilt, it is supposed to be a claymore of a lightsaber. I don't know that it's coming across as well as it should, but this thing is like broad. You see what I mean? Like the place where the blade comes out, and it's supposed to be much heavier and thicker than like the blades you'll see on Shin, who's like his apprentice. So this is supposed to be like a heavy blade. I wish it was a little thicker. I'm going to be honest, man. I was hoping for something like Berserk or Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, also we have that same glowing problem. We need to touch that up in post a little bit. Look at this, man. So it's Hera that's going to try to warn the New Republic, because that looks like a mirror of the shot we saw before with the holograms of all the leaders of the New Republic. And so again, boom, she's ready to go. They're going to start fighting, and this does seem to be in the world between worlds. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see this fight. You know what I mean? Shin doing some wild flying and trying to, yeah, dude, like, and just like look at the movement and everything here, right? Like, he's just a huge dude. Like, this dude is like 6'3" and like stacked, right? This is a big guy. And so he's coming through here doing his own hallway scene. And it does look like a lot more like a knight with like a kind of heavier blade. Like, even the motions and the movement that he's using, you know, it's not as finessed. And here we get our first shot of Ezra in live action. And this is meant to look, I think, like what Ezra looked like at the end of Star Wars Rebels. This might even be the message that he sends to everybody. And then remember what he says in that message? He says to Sabine, I'm counting on you. I'm still counting on you, or some shit like that, right? And so that, I think, is what you're going to see in live action, which is super cool. And she's like just watching this like kind of on repeat or whatnot, because they obviously had strong feelings for each other. And then we get another assassin here with two... Oh, this looks like an Inquisitor of sorts, right? It's got like an Inquisitor type blade. Looks to be... I don't know. Maybe this is Corellia. They seem to be stripping down starships. Not 100% sure what this is, but it looks freaking awesome. This cuts back to the temple where she's fighting the droids. Super crazy, man. Yeah, I don't know if this is Corellia or not. She's probably looking for some info on Thrawn and all that, right? Yeah. Very interesting stuff. So, the thing that's wild, again, about this trailer is it's freaking awesome, and it shows us, like, nothing, dude. Like, this shows us, like, nothing. We don't see any of the Night Sisters or the Light Sisters. We don't see the zombie stormtroopers. We don't really get a look at Thrawn either. You know what I mean? So, like, dude, I'm really excited. I'm really into it. And there's still just so many more surprises. But now, I want to talk to you about something else that's fucking bananas, dude. Bananas! New footage of the upcoming 7th episode of Season 3 of The Mandalorian was revealed exclusively at Star Wars Celebration. You guys want to talk about it? Do you guys want to talk about Episode 7 of season 3 of The Mandalorian. I mean, we don't have to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to. We don't have to. Just if you don't want to, we can move on. All right, buckle up your buttholes. Here we go. I'm going to make this bigger, actually. Oh my goodness. The first 7 minutes of The Mandalorian Chapter 23 featured lots of striking details, including multiple mentions of fan favorite villain Thrawn. The opening of the episode saw Katie O'Brien on Coruscant receiving a hologram from Giancarlo Esposito's Moff Gideon. Kane tells Moff how the pirates, seen earlier in the season, were thwarted by Bo-Katan, Din Djarin, and the rest of the Mandalorians. Cutting to Gideon, he hangs up and proceeds down a corridor, walking past a number of stormtroopers that closely resemble the Phase 2 clone troopers from the prequel trilogy. While doing this, the audience receives glimpses of what looks to be vats/tubes similar to those seen in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. From here, Esposito's Star Wars Big Bad arrives in what was called the Shadow Council, a series of holograms of other Imperial warlords. Boner alert! The father of General Hux from the sequel trilogy and Grand Admiral Thrawn's second-in-command, Pelion, are among the group. Gideon opens the conversation by criticizing them for waiting for Thrawn's grand plan. I want to repeat that. What the fuck? No! I'm going to repeat that. Gideon opens the conversation to the Shadow Council by criticizing them for waiting for Thrawn's grand plan. The Chiss Admiral is noticeably absent, and they seem to be waiting for him to get started. Gideon says that Hux's father has been focused on cloning work and notes that they have to deal with the Mandalorians. Moff requests 3 Praetorian guards, TIE bombers, and TIE interceptors before the whole group chants, "Long live the Empire." Holy banana nut muffin on a Sunday morning. They're actually doing it. And this is crazy because I was convinced, and maybe it's just because of the way the season was going and shit, but I was convinced Thrawn will not be connected to Gideon. I was just like, nah, dude, like they're not going to do that. Like Gideon's going to be his own thing. Thrawn will be out there in the New Beyond. Now we have the Shadow Council. We have all of these different Imperial officers. Thrawn is requesting Praetorian guards and reinforcements from the actual remnant warlords. And on top of that, all of them are focusing on Thrawn's grand plan and Thrawn as the heir to the Empire. So before the First Order, became what they became and they tried to take over the galaxy, the original plan was to let Thrawn be the heir to the Empire. That's fascinating. I wonder if that contradicts some stuff that Palpatine wanted to do. I wonder if Palpatine wanted that. So many different questions. But the thing that's really freaking cool is it feels like we're finally getting somewhere. And look, we just had a stream the other day where I was incredibly critical of The Mandalorian this season and of particularly that last episode. And that criticism stands, man. This season, even if it's dope in the last 2 episodes, which I think it's going to be dope, but I also think it's going to be pretty controversial. Even if it's dope, I will still consider this season to be very lackluster because they tried to just restructure and reorganize the plan. But if they can end the season in a way where yes, it's getting into Thrawn and it all feels connected and the big story unfolds, it's still going to be a W and it's still going to be awesome moving forward. We can survive a lackluster season if we put all the toys back on the shelf in the right way and we're excited about what happens next. The only problem is I don't know if Din Djarin is actually going to be a part of that anymore, right? And that goes into some of the other drama and some of the other stuff that I've heard. And we'll see how it all shakes out. But either way, it's dope as hell that it seems like those plans and that shared universe are finally coming together, man. finally coming together, and I am I'm pretty excited. You know, I'm pretty excited. You know, so good stuff. Good stuff. So the question is, what happens next? Where do we go from here as Star Wars fans? Well, I think we'll obviously have to keep an eye on what movie comes out next. We're obviously going to have to just hope that Ahsoka is as good as I think it can be. We'll see how Skeleton Crew goes. We'll see how The Acolyte goes. This might be a situation similar to where Marvel is at, where, oh, there's good stuff on the horizon, but we might have to clog through some more bullcrap before we get to that, you know? So, overall, I'm very excited. But again, there's a lot of like little cracks. There's a lot of reasons to be skeptic of what's going to happen. I think Ahsoka, man, I'm hoping that Ahsoka is so damn good, and it looks so cool already, but I'm hoping it's so damn good, guys, that everybody basically gets on board and they're like, dude, just give Dave everything, dude. Give Dave everything. And maybe he will actually get episode 10. Maybe they will actually get there after this next series of whatever they're trying to do. So, yes. Those are my final thoughts. Let's get into Q&A, right? Because I know there's a ton of super chats. I know there's going to be a ton of questions in the chat and everything like that. So let's get into all this Q&A, guys. What do you say? What do you say? Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Was there anything we didn't go over today? Josh, there's new leaks on the Making Star Wars about the ending of Ahsoka series, and it's massive. Yeah, I heard, and that's the whole thing of, like, Thrawn coming back into the main galaxy. I'm going to go over all of that. Like, I'm going to do a big video on that. The plan for me today is we're going to finish up this stream. I have a stream at 2 p.m., which is for the Prime members. I'm going to do that stream. And then I'm going to work on scripting and pulling together some ideas for videos. I'll drop a video probably tomorrow that's like going over all of this stuff in detail, kind of like a very summarized version of the stream we just did. And then I think I'll do a video for Monday going over all the Ahsoka stuff. Either Sunday or Monday. It kind of depends. But yeah, again, there's really good stuff here. There's some questionable stuff here. I want Star Wars to get back on track. I want Star Wars to be winning. I really, really do. And I'm willing to suspend some of my butthurt and try to give them a chance, but like they've got to do it. Like it's on them to actually execute all this shit. You know, it's one thing to get people hyped, it's another thing to execute, right? Cartoons tomorrow? Fuck. We might have to push cartoons. And I know, I'm so sorry. Everything keeps getting pushed and I feel badly about it, but like I feel like I've got to get these videos out. You know, like I feel like these are important videos and way more stuff going on than I thought about. Like, are you guys going to be okay if we do Saturday morning cartoons next week? Or is everybody really mad? Is everybody really mad? Can we do the Saturday morning cartoons next week? Yeah. We'll talk about it later. Okay, let's get into all this Q&A, man. Locationary is the first in today. Says, I wish I could get pumped for all the news coming out, but I have zero faith in Disney. I understand what you mean. Entire sequel trilogy was so they could have Rey be the one rebuilding the Jedi instead of Luke. If they wanted a strong female lead, they should have had Ahsoka for the sequel. Season 3 of The Mando is pointless. I have zero faith in Disney. I understand, Locationary. I do. Spoilers, Dave Filoni's film ends with Luke and Ahsoka having sweet sex. Rey is their baby. Well, then doesn't that fix all the problems for you and you love it? And also, thank you for gifting 10 members. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Locationary is coming in hot. By the way, the reason Locationary has all of the crazy nerd coin that he has is because of the currency. So it's for $20, it says 200,000 of whatever that currency is. So holy shit. Sith Lord Qui-Gon is like, I'm at Celebration right now. I'm happy for you. I hope you're having a kick-ass time, man. I've always had a lot of fun at Celebration. Diamond Figs, $10 spot says, hopeful but skeptical. We've been burned so bad in the past, hoping all this news doesn't get us hyped up for Star Wars content to fall flat like most projects have recently. Yeah, same, man. Big same. Feel you on that. And then he followed up, says, Josh living in his I told you so era, hardcore, and it's valid. Yeah, we're on a good little streak, to be honest with you. We don't get everything right, but I have some reliable people that tell me stuff, so, Diamond Fix says, homie, did you see the actor that is playing Cyril Karn say live on the stream that his thoughts on the Andor script was that it's boring, mundane? And he said, this isn't Star Wars. Tweeted it at you. Bro, what? Really? That's amazing. I mean, that's kind of amazing, to be honest with you. It is what it is, okay? I've already said my piece. About Andor, and we'll see. Carl says, Star Wars is back. I mean, maybe. It's potentially back. It has the potential to be back. I'm just not 100% sure. Dude, is she really back, or are you trolling? No, she's back. What are you talking about? Daisy Ridley went on stage, dude. Watch this clip. Where's the... Okay, did you tag me, or did you send it to me in the DMs? Did you tag me or send it to me in the DMs? How do I find that clip? Yeah, DM me, bruh. Oh, you're talking about Gina? No, I don't think she's back, but she could be. I think it would be the move. I've heard, and I'm not supposed to say this, but I've heard it is technically something that's being explored at some level. So, there you go. Let's take a peen oath not to watch the Daisy movie. Huh. I mean, I'm not going to take that oath. I want to watch it, and I want it to be good. Like, that's the thing. Like, I want it to be good, bro. You know what I mean? Dude who is there right now says she's back, man. I mean, sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything until we get it confirmed. You know? So, we'll see. Okay, I'm going to keep going into this. Heir to the Empire, Ahsoka as Mara Jade, Luke Soka confirmed. I don't think that's what's going on. We obviously know that he does not actually form a family. So that aspect of Heir to the Empire doesn't happen with Luke. But they could still make an incredible Heir to the Empire film. You know what I mean? Did you tag me on that video yet? You sent it to me in the DMs? What the hell, man? What the hell, man? Don't keep me waiting, man. We'll find that later. Okay? I know a lot of people online are talking about John Boyega too. I just don't think I don't think he wants nothing to do with them anymore. We'll see though. Mo from the Foe says, off topic, but how did you meet Elisa? And Godson is growing up so fast, his beard is already coming in. I don't know if his beard is coming in. Elisa and I actually met through work. So I hired her as an editor. She worked for me for like 6 or 9 months, and we were like completely platonic, super professional. And then we kind of like admitted that we had feelings for each other and did the long distance thing for a while. So that's the story. Lee says, I want more Grogu now. I don't know if I do. You know what I mean? I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if I do. I prefer some Babu. Diamond Joe says, pretty happy with Celebration so far. Ahsoka looks dope. Acolyte looks very interesting. Thrawn, hell yes. Star Wars never left, baby. LOL. Happy Friday. I appreciate you, Diamond Joe, and I'm glad you're happy. And I'm glad most people seem to be very, very happy. But I want to be there, but I've been scorned a little too many times, and I'm just trying to like report it the way I see it. Like, kudos to them, but also, yada, yada, yada. Gosh, I hate being this way, but Ahsoka looks like a fan film. I want high-quality Star Wars. I only want Star Wars on the big screen. I would wait and give it a chance. I still think there's a lot of work to be done on this show. And I think that Dave is really focused on making sure this thing looks incredible. So I'd say just give it a little bit of time and let's wait and see. Cody Moody says, hey Josh, first super chat. Man, that Ahsoka trailer looked fire. Love you, Josh. And very nice Cowboy Bebop shirt. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Do you like the shirt? Appreciate you. Cameron says, hype, cautiously optimistic. Ahsoka looks fire. Been a wild 2 years of nerdvention in these streets. It has been wild, hasn't it? I'd love to herald in the return of actual Star Wars and to feel really good about it again, man. Do you know how happy I would be, genuinely happy I would be if if we got back, baby. Like if we were back and like Star Wars was like actually like great and like people were really hyped up and like, dude, it would be so nice to be making all kinds of content about that and talking about rumors and speculation and theories, man. Y'all remember like theorizing about this shit? So I'm so excited for the possibilities if they actually get it together. The original trilogy was expanded and enhanced by the prequels. The prequels were enhanced by the Clone Wars. Now, sequels time. People will hate at first, but trust it's for the better, says Logan with a very generous 10 spot. Yeah, so I don't believe that a ton of people are just not going to see this movie. There might be a ton of people that just pirate it and don't want to pay for it because they are that upset with Star Wars, but everybody's going to watch this movie. And I think the movie will do well. I was like thinking about it in my head, and I was like, it's going to make $700-800 million, no problem. But I think for Star Wars to really feel like it's back, this thing has to crack $1 billion. And like if it goes even further than that and goes like towards 1.5 towards 2, that would be very impressive and very good for the brand. But I think if it makes anything 600 million worldwide or below, that's very concerning. That's very concerning for Star Wars. Best time to hit 6 months in the Diamond Lounge, baby. Ahsoka looks hype, and on Dawn of the Jedi seems dope. Obviously conflicted with the sequel stuff. And SC? What's the SC? Huh? Grand Admiral Kendall, I appreciate it, brother. Thanks so much for all that support for 6 months. Overbound Game Studio says it's gonna be Kenobi booty cheeks like last night's Mando episode. Oh God, I hope not. Oh, God, I hope not. Justified says, what's up, Josh? I only care about Ahsoka. That trailer was amazing. I'm beyond hyped for Ahsoka. But if they mess it up, Lord help me. Yeah, agreed. And that's the only, right? And that's another big concern. Because I expect Ahsoka to be amazing. But, like, what if it falls flat with the fans? What if Indiana Jones falls flat? What if Ahsoka falls flat? Now you've got 2 out of 3 of your movies that are literally I mean, dude, like, they have really, it's do or die. You know what I mean? Like, it's do or die for them. Josh King Coy says, Harloff says Netflix are doing a live action Pokemon and it will be their flagship series with when Stranger Things ends. That would be incredible. That would be incredible. I love Pokemon. Pokemon's one of the biggest brands and IP on the planet, by the way. That shit would be sick, dude. I hope that's true. Big Stevie says the announcements have me the most excited about Star Wars I've been in a while. I'm even interested in the new Jedi movie with Rey. It could be incredible if done well. That's true. Scaldy, thanks for the 1. Bluck 182. Welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture. Now, by the way, I just want to say, if you've ever been on the fence about being a channel member, we're going to be doing a ton of giveaways on Monday. You're probably going to want to be a member on Monday. You'll have a chance to win the $200 GameStop. We're giving away 2 of those. It really does support the channel. You get access to the behind-the-scenes streams. Just become a member today. What are you waiting for? Locationary says, if the Rey movie actually ended up being a banger, I'd kiss KK's toes. Right on. Interesting. Blake Price says, super hype for everything apart from Rey coming back, but can we just skip 50 years ahead and have a Grogu story or go back to the Old Republic? Well, it seems like we are going back to the Old Republic. You're getting 15 years after the sequels. But yeah, you are going to have to eat your peas to have your meat or whatever. Just hopping on for a minute because I'm watching the Celebration stream, but Ahsoka looks great. Hot take, I'm fairly excited about the rest too. No, I think you're right. Ahsoka looks great. Absolutely. I hope you're having a good time watching the other stream. Tattoo Poppy says, I noticed the girl with the red saber has a Padawan braid. Yeah, I think she is she's the apprentice of Balin. And I think they were both Jedi before Order 66. I could be wrong, though. Mitchell says, is it just me or did it bother anyone else that the red lightsabers kind of look like toys and look like they needed to be touched up in post? They absolutely need to be touched up. And we need to talk about that more. Like, put that all over social. Because I think they should fix it. And it's an easy fix, I think. Shadow Realm BG says, Josh loved the Ahsoka trailer, but it felt very cinematic. Glad for Dave and James, but still want KK to leave. Big same, bro. Big same. Czech Republic says, Josh, what if in the first episode of Ahsoka, the Mythosaur steps on Thrawn and he kicks the bucket? Have a good day, brother. Yeah, that'd be something, huh? Block Riders says they don't like legacy fans. They'll take the hit to supplement them. I mean, I think that narrative has merit. I think at this point, if you think it's total bullcrap, like, just look around and, I don't know, there's some really head-scratching shit going on at Lucasfilm. All we can hope is that changes have been made. All we can hope is that Dave being in more of a predominant role at Lucasfilm will show more legacy fan love, because Dave is a legacy fan. So that's my hope. Never Lose Your Nerd says Ahsoka is life and the trailer was amazing. Hopefully this show will save Star Wars and renew faith in it. I am hoping for the same. The Gatekeeper's Daimo says grow Ray ship. Gross. I don't know about that. Brian Lara with the 10 spot says Star Wars is like my Cowboys. Every year is our year, and then we crap the bed. So like you said, I'm optimistic, but I'm cautious about getting overly excited right now. But the Ahsoka trailer was boners. Hell yeah, bro. I think we're on the same page. And I think there are a lot of us like with that kind of a feeling. And really what Star Wars needs to do is get those people, like our group, to just shift back over and get excited again. You know, we need a couple dubs. We need some really cool stuff on the horizon, but they also need to deliver with the content. Yeah, boy says, I agree with the sequels in Rey. Story was bad, but I like the characters. If the story was executed well and the characters were done well, I'd like them. Fair. Totally fair. Mo from the Foe says, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. With the way Rise ended, I feel cheated if Palpatine doesn't come back via Rey. Considering how she evaporated him like he wanted 4 decades, somehow Palpatine must return. Again. We'll see, man. I don't want Palpatine to return again, but something of import, something big has to happen to, like, justify a big story after that movie. You know? Like, this can't be a slice of life thing where the Jedi are just chilling. Like, there has to be a driving force for the plot. That means an inciting incident. That means conflict. So what's that going to look like? And how can it stand up to Palpatine, right? Mo from the Foe follows up and says, by the way, the only 2 shows I've been excited for the past years were Kenobi and Ahsoka. Teaser looked like a fan film to me. No! Mo from the Foe, no! Just give it a chance. It's going to look better. I already think it looks great, but I do understand. It wasn't as cinematic as I was hoping. But I think it's going to look more cinematic once it's totally fixed and out of post. Amber with a very generous $20 holla, I appreciate you, says, hope all is well, Josh. Having a hard time loving season 3 of the Mando, but I'm trying to give it a chance to the end. The Ahsoka trailer got me hyped again too. Also, though I don't hate Rey, I'll be triggered by calling her Rey Skywalker. LOL. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, if they want to win some ground back with the fans, drop that Rey Skywalker shit. Like, for real. Like, just have her change her mind. Have her feel that way, but keep it a secret. Do not have her being called Rey Skywalker a bunch in this movie. That's going to trigger me too. Oh, God, why? Jonathan Stanton says, this weekend we celebrate the redemption Jesus gives us. If God can redeem sinners, Lucasfilm can surely redeem Star Wars. I hope. I mean, I don't know if I would make a comparison between God and Lucasfilm, but I get the point, yeah. Deep Sauce says, yo, Josh, love that shirt. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime of all time. Do you remember where you got it? I'd love to cop. See you, Space Cowboy. I believe this is a Hot Topic shirt. Pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure. Is it a Hot Topic shirt? Where did I get this shirt? No, I think I got this at GameStop. Locationary says, how will Heir to the Empire tie into the sequel trilogy? I would say probably barely at all. It'll just be this big thing that happened before Luke went into exile and all that, right? So maybe that is all. Yeah, that might be all, bro. Chris Listenfeld says, can't wait for the Ahsoka Sabine Hera action. Pause. Me too. No pause needed. Ted says, wish Sith had yellow eyes. Yeah, I agree, but they're dark Jedi, not necessarily Sith, but I feel you. They need to feel menacing, evil, scary. So I agree. Sozin says, Dave Filoni is the actual heir to the Empire. So glad he finally getting the respect he deserves from the higher ups. How do you think Thrawn/New Beyond will tie into the World Between Worlds? I think the World Between Worlds will tie into the New Beyond. I don't really know how, but it feels magical and cosmic force to me. So that's another side of the lore of the Force that I'm excited to see. And they're really expanding the lore of the Jedi, by going into the Dawn of the Jedi, which is said to be like a religious movie. Oh, man, I can't wait for that. Then, yeah, heir to the Empire and... I just think that they're doing a lot with the Force and the Jedi, which is awesome. Vito says, I need to take a break today, so I think I have pinched a nerve in my neck. That's terrible, bro. You need to do ice, you need to do heat compression, you need to relax. Also, much love to Locationary for the gifted subs and dono. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Vincente Luna says, I had originally thought Balin was Star Wars multiverse / World Between World version of Anakin if he had beaten Obi-Wan. So happy Filoni is getting a movie. No, yeah, Balin's real. Balin is real and real as real gets. And I'm excited for that character, bro. The red logo reminds me of Mustafa. Much love, bro. Thank you, Lightning Slug. Shadow Room Saber says, much love. Excited for Ahsoka. Girl in the red saber going to end up being Mara Jade. Would be interesting to see them give context to Jake Skywalker. I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't even gonna bring that up, but I do feel like Shin might flip. Yep. I'm not exactly sure if it'll happen in season 1 of Ahsoka, but I do think Shin might flip. Zeke says, can't wait to see what they're doing with Ezra, Sabine, and the Ghost crew. Nerd Vengeance for life. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Let me see. No. Okay. Block Rider says, any hopes that Dave would be inclined to reboot and recast Luke, Leia, and Han and follow George's plan? No. No, they're not going to reboot. That's just not going to happen. Starkiller says, Thrawn, guys, you realize Rey's coming back and they're doing a new Jedi Order movie? What's it going to take to get people to realize they're not doing that? You got to wait to see the actual movie? What's it going to take, man? Tony says, where is Jason? I think he's going to be involved. I don't know where, though. Doth says, talk to me, Papa. All the spoilers. I got you, man. Joey Ebb says, don't forget about Anakin's Force Ghost in Ahsoka. It's not his Force Ghost. Might be his Force Ghost, but that's not the big thing. He's going to be seen through a portal within the World Between Worlds. And you're going to get a redo of the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar, except it's going to be Ahsoka. Patrick says, with High Republic stuff coming, do we think it'll be a little controversial like the comics, novels, etc. were? Or will they try to ignore all of that? I don't know how controversial the High Republic is. I just don't know that it's hitting with a lot of fans. It certainly has its fans, but I just don't know if they've really codified it as a big part of Star Wars that people are excited about. So, I don't know. Maybe this stuff will actually serve to do that, right? Straw Hat Dragon says, woke up to a notification of this stream. Glad I made it. Love you, Josh. Your Mando takes are super hot, but Ahsoka! Hell yeah, brother. Appreciate the support. King Tannic says, did you already find a new editor? I DM'd you on Twitter. Yes, I have filled the position. And actually, I think that guy's going to be helping me out with a video this weekend. So his first video might be one about Celebration, which is kind of cool. Aiden says, I'm just happy to go back to the theaters to watch Star Wars. Hell yeah, man. Me too. Josh Power says, hey, Josh, finally able to catch a stream live with no school today. I hope this can be a turning point for Star Wars, like next year will be for Marvel. Yeah, me too, brother. And I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Jose says, did you catch the latest South Park 40K episode? I saw some of the clips. I haven't watched the full episode, but it was pretty funny. RJ Phillip with a 10 spot says, Ahsoka looks badass. Did you notice she only had her small saber when fighting the big guy? Chronologically, it would make more sense for Dave's movie to come out first. Happy Friday, Nerd Vengeance for life. No, his movie's coming out later. But no, I didn't notice that. I'll have to rewatch the trailer for sure. Adrian says, What does the orange saber represent? The Ahsoka trailer was great. I don't know that it represents much. It could be a blending of like yellow and red. I saw some people speculating that that's what it is, and maybe they had Temple Guard sabers. But I think it's just a stylized choice. Darth Shima says, what's going on with Dawn of the Jedi? I mean, Dawn of the Jedi is such a fun run. I might do a full video explaining this. I have a strong affinity for that run particularly, man. Those books were incredible. Mr. J. Westman says, do you think we'll see Luke in Ahsoka? God, I hope so. Patrick says, the post-sequel trilogy film might be able to win back fans if a wise and hopeful Force Ghost Luke is heavily involved. Positive. Ghosts don't drink space cow milk. That's true, actually. Maybe that's the move. I don't know. Darth Shima, welcome back to the Nerd Vengers. Cody Moore says, Thrawn has been my favorite character since I was 8. I'm 23. And when he came into Rebels, I started to catch up and now love seeing him in LA. Has been a childhood dream. I'm so hyped. Yeah, dude, me too. I love Thrawn. He's getting his due. They're even doing like crazier stuff than they've ever done with the character, with Dave. So, I mean, whew, shit's hot. This is the perfect opportunity to convince my friend to watch Rebels. He's seen scenes and claims it's enough. What a loser. I mean, some people just can't get past that animation style. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Some people can't get past the animation style, but it is an incredible story with great characters. Andrew says, this is the oh, yeah, we just read that. Caleb says, yo, Josh, what if the lightsaber design is trying to make them look similar to the FX sabers? So when you buy a Disney saber, it looks real. Yeah, fair. I still think they need to touch it up with post. I feel like your imagination will fill in the gap between the FX saber you buy and the stuff that's on the screen. And I think the stuff on the screen has to look impeccable. But I do get your point. Nikki says, what do you think Dawn of the Jedi is going to be about and bringing the Star Wars universe? It is literally the Dawn of the Jedi. So in that story, all of these Force-sensitive people from around the universe, they have these crazy ships that show up, and all these Force people get in this thing, and then it beams all of them to this planet that's like fucking crazy far away, Tython, which we just saw in Mando. And they're there discovering the Force, creating the rules of the Jedi, and they originally are the Jedi, and they actually don't believe in just going light side. They believe in balance, light side and dark, like the Bendu, right? The one in the middle. So that'll likely be what it's about. It'll be literally about the beginning of organic beings in our galaxy, the Star Wars galaxy, learning about the Force and creating the Jedi Order, and perhaps the Rakatan Empire, which was also recently name dropped in Andor. So I don't know. RG2088 says, wonder if they will use the World Between Worlds more than to show Ahsoka her destiny. I'm wondering if she will end up crossing timelines. I doubt it, but maybe. Maybe. Never say never, I guess. Tiberius says, Star Wars has a place in my heart, even if I have a love for Star Trek. I crossed the nerd streams. Oh, no. I hope Star Wars will be great again. KK must go. Yeah, I hear you, bro. Yeah, Star Trek's cool, too. I just never really got into it like that. The Exodus says, if Palpatine is gone, is it time for the Vong? I would love that. I would love that. I just don't know if that's what's going to happen. Josh, I like your cut, G. Thanks, brother. Appreciate the love. Jonathan says, what if Rey's movie has Darth Finn as the main villain because he wants to get back at Rey for expelling him from the Order and for marrying Poe? Wow. That'd be pretty wild. So he goes from like angry, shouting Rey, friend-zoned guy to dark side, friend-zoned simp. I don't know. I don't know if that would play. Kevin says, do we know when Ahsoka is taking place? Is it the same time as Mando, or is it a little after? The beginning part of the show is going to take place right around the episode from season 2 of Mando. Right around that time period. And then the back half of the show is just beyond that. I'm not sure how far. John says, Filoni-verse is in full effect. MandoVerse film has the potential to invoke feelings of Avengers 1, especially if Han, Luke, and Leia help take down Thrawn. Oh, I agree with you. And I think it could be fan-freaking-tastic. Owen Spring says, crazy excited for Ahsoka. I just woke up and goddamn, that's a good way to start the day. Can you do a quick recap for me? What did I miss? Well, we just talked about the 3 Star Wars movies. Talked a little bit about Acolyte footage. But unfortunately, I can't recap it all, my friend. I'll do a big video that recaps it all. Chipawee says, I don't watch a lot of Star Wars, but from what I've seen, it would make sense for a movie about the survivors of Kylo Ren's Jedi slaughter. Yeah, that would be kind of fun. I'd like that. Andrew says, since they reference Heir to the Empire, do you think Kathleen was trolling about no source material, or is she secretly seething in the background? Oh, no, she just put her foot in her mouth, which is something she's incredibly good at. I mean, she was trying to make a point about, like, how it's harder to do Star Wars content than Marvel, and she, like, just flubbed the point. That's what that was. Jonathan says, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. He keeps his promise. Lucasfilm cancels 50% of the projects they announce. Fair point. Jesus 1, Lucasfilm 0. Tyson H with the 10 spot says, Ahsoka trailer looks good, and I'm super hyped for it. I'm trusting Dave with this one. But do the lightsabers look weird to you? Specifically the red sabers. Yes, they do, Tyson, and I think we need to let them know in a respectful, non-toxic way that if they don't change these goddamn lightsabers, we're going to burn this motherfucker to the ground. We are no longer going to watch any of their shit. So, we'll get it. Darth Shima says, I meant the movie that they announced. Maybe I misspoke. I thought it was called Dawn of the Jedi. Yeah, that's... I answered the question thinking that's what you're asking about. So Dawn of the Jedi, the movie, I think, will take a lot from Dawn of the Jedi, the comics, and the novels. How is this difficult to understand? Mariana says, I got chills from the Ahsoka trailer. Maybe it's just cold in your house. Got to meet Rosario and see again Hayden and at MegaCon. He hugged me twice. August can't come soon enough. Maybe he hugged you once and then he hugged you once for me so that I could feel the love. Kroll says, hey Josh, you the man. This damn kid is driving me crazy, but what's your thoughts on the future of Star Wars? Nerdvengers for life. My thoughts are that this is a fine plan that I think, I hope, honestly, man, I think KK needs to go. I think Kathy needs to go, and I'd feel way more confident about all of this stuff because she's fucking around, man. She is muddling all of this up, and so I think that she needs to go. This plan is fine. You keep this plan, but she needs to go. Also, weekly reminder to watch One Piece. Gotcha. Milad says, can you please explain what the Rakatan Empire was? Yeah. So the Rakatan were these really crazy aliens. You might have seen them before. They look like hammerhead sharks. They're all weird looking with like big bulgy out eyes. And they were this massively powerful empire that far preceded any of the big empires in our galaxy. Now, they have a huge empire, then they have sort of a downfall and kind of fall into a little bit more of obscurity. And at the time of the dawning of the new Jedi, the Rakatan are greatly diminished in their power, but still much more powerful than any Force users in the known galaxy. So the Rakatan, they just have a lot to do with the galaxy in the past. And that empire was massive. So that's like the best way that I can explain it. I Am Donovan says, what if the starters can never get there again because it can never be as good as Legends post Return of the Jedi? To me, from a story perspective, Legends is actually better than anything George wrote himself. KK has no choice. I mean, first of all, I appreciate the 20, man. That's very generous. I don't feel the same about Legends, but there are some really great stories in Legends. It really just depends on execution. It doesn't even depend on if it's as good or if it's as similar. It needs to be executed really well. And if it's dope enough, like, here's what I would say to you, Donovan. Do you think that there's just 0% chance that they create something that you actually like? Maybe you do feel that way, but I don't feel that way. I want to be shocked and surprised. I want to be like, damn, this shit's actually really good. I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the attitude. I would love to be at that place. And I think it is possible to be at that place. Star Wars Academy says, do you think Luke would appear in a future film? I think he will appear in Heir of the Empire. I don't see why he wouldn't. It'll be young Luke, too. I told you almost 2 years ago, Josh, maybe they decided against a full trilogy, but you remember what I told you would be Rey's quest back then, right? Oh, yes, I do. I don't think they'd change that. I think we'll still see all 4 actors show up. Yes, even him. He's the fan favorite. It would be a big mistake. Yeah, I just don't know, Maria. I mean, plans change. We haven't heard anything about that. It is, of course, possible. But, yeah, I'm just... Until I hear something else, it really feels like they've shifted their focus. And they're doing something different. I think a lot of people would love Ben Solo to come back in some way, right? But I just don't know. And I also don't know that 15 years later and Ben comes back. I just don't know. I don't know if I see it, right? But we'll of course wait and see. We will of course wait and see. Okay, guys. Chat's going crazy. Hang on. Let me try to get the chat to catch back up. I feel like the 20 was missed, Jensen. Okay, let me try to find it. I don't think it was, but... One from Amber. Location area? No, I don't see any other 20s, bro. Amber. Because it would be orange. I am Donovan. I got that one. Yeah, I don't see it, brother. Kroll says, yeah, KK gotta go. She is flunking things up. And Blinkers for the weekend. Hope you have a good weekend. Y'all, thank you so much. Have you brought up that Joannis, Chewbacca actor, was cast to be a Wookiee Jedi in Acolyte? Gunji supremacy on the way. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, bro. Okay, maybe I missed it. Well, I just don't see it, brother. Did you sure you sent one? Make Star Wars great again. Right on. Sent the clip on Discord. Okay, let me see. Where did you send? Okay, here we go. I see it now. Hang on. Let's just listen to this together.
The Empire finding its feet, becoming the bloated, sort of large structure that we find in A New Hope, and Cyril sort of navigating his way through the, like, weird corporate structure of that is like, I mean, I started reading those scripts, I was like, what? This isn't Star Wars. This is like, and then he's having cereal with his mom.
Dude, I was just the cereal.
It's just like absolute boring mundanity of like, the Empire finding its feet, becoming the bloated, sort of large structure that we find in A New Hope, and Cyril sort of navigating his way through the, like, weird corporate structure of that is like, I mean, I started reading those scripts, I was like, what? This isn't Star Wars. This is like, and then he's having cereal with his mom.
Dude, I was just the cereal.
It's just like...
Well, at least they all knew what a lot of y'all couldn't admit. Milad says, thanks a lot. Did the Rakata have any powers? Yeah, dude, they were very powerful with the Force. Very powerful. A lot of Force lightning. Crazy powerful. Okay. So, let's hang in the chat for a little bit. How are we feeling in the chat? How you guys feeling? Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't want you to get the wrong impression. I am excited about a lot of this shit. I am excited. But there's just a lot of stuff to kind of be like, I don't know about that. We'll see, you know? You know what it is? They got to fucking nail Ahsoka. They got to nail these next 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, including when they killed Din Djarin off. And they've got to nail... They have to nail this next movie. They have to nail this next movie. Otherwise, I don't know. I feel like we're all back to where we were before. American Pride says that trailer was straight fire, and the MandoVerse is real. Dave will have his own movie. I know, and I'm so excited about that. I'm genuinely very excited about that shit. Wish DC had a good plan like this. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what DC. I mean, DC's got a plan, you know. James Gunn has a plan. His plan is to obfuscate the truth and get in Twitter beefs. What are we watching tomorrow? We're actually going to push that back to tomorrow, to next week. No cartoons tomorrow, and I am sorry, but I have to go work. Like, after this stream, I've got another stream at 2. Another stream at 2, and then I'm going to be working on videos. I want to do a big recap video tomorrow. Get that guy out to you guys tomorrow afternoon. And then maybe we'll do a big, like, Ahsoka, Filoni verse, like, holy crap, this is happening next in Mando, you know, kind of stuff. So, man, D&D made a Billy. Hey, you don't say that, Chris. You don't say that around here. Why do they get to nail Ahsoka when I want to? Well, you've got to become a high-value person or whatever the fuck the... Yeah. DC and MCU crossover? No. God, no. Maybe down the line if James Gunn still has a job in 5 years. Yes. We need to rewatch Rebels before Ahsoka? Yeah, maybe we watch some of that. Yeah. Do you think it too much for the normies? I don't know, maybe a little. Which movie is supposed to have the 2025 date? The one with Rey. The one with Rey. Ayo, bro, I got a Camaro. Wait, what? I got a Camaro. If you want to see, I can send it to you on Discord. It's dope. Oh, you got a Camaro? That's sick, dude. Yeah, send it to me on Discord for sure. Do you think there will be spice in the High Republic? God, I hope so. Shazam better than D&D? Get out of here. Lizzo over D&D? Get the fuck out of here. Renee says, I don't think they'll kill Din yet. He's going to be ruling over Mandalore, which will be an independent system for the Republic and be a part of the rest of the Star Wars if somebody has to raise Grogu. Yeah, we'll see. Elijah says, hey, bro, can you shout out my bro and sis Ben and Zoe? They are super Star Wars nerds. Well, Ben and Zoe, shout out to you. Your big brother Elijah is quite an awesome guy and helps me out here at Nerdvengers Tower, so I appreciate him. I hope we see Ahsoka and Luke's first meeting. Ooh, that would be good. That would be good. Do you actually think Din will be killed off, Josh? Please be lying. I think there's a 50% chance. I think there's a 50% chance. Flip a coin. Have you ever cosplayed as Harry Potter? You look like him already. Hey, don't say that. Robert V says he's not getting killed off. John said there will be a crossover in Skeleton Crew. Oh, okay. All right. What happens if Grogu... What happens to Grogu if he is killed? Grogu is going to be around for a while. Hey, don't say that, Donovan. What if they filmed 2 possible endings for the end of the season? And what if both of those endings removed Din Djarin from the show? One permanently, and another until such time that they want to explore that character again. What if that's what it was? Were you able to get a scale that isn't broken? No. They all seem to be broken. Call-ins? I can't today, chillin'. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't have the mental bandwidth, man. I need to get out of here, chill, work on some writing. I'll see the Prime members at 2 p.m. and then I'm not doing shit for the rest of the day. It has been an exhausting week. It has been an exhausting week, and I have to do a video tomorrow. I probably have to do a video on Sunday. So after 2 p.m. today, I'm out. Am I working out today? Yes, I am working out today. Yeah, we'll do call-ins again next week. I'm sorry, man. We've just had to kind of it's been a tough week. If you guys want more of Josh, upgrade your membership to Prime. True, but Prime, it's not for everybody. We'll talk some business. Josh, what is sent off to the new Beyond or the whales tease the episode? What if? Oh, okay, that's kind of a cool idea, Jareth. I don't think that's the way it's going to go down, but yeah. All right, everybody, look, much love to you all. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get some food, work on some scripting. I will see the Prime members at 2 p.m. Now, look, I'll have a big recap video of all of the news. So if you came in late to the stream or you want to just kind of have a full-ass breakdown of everything, look out for that video tomorrow. Sunday, we'll talk Ahsoka. And then Monday, man, look out for that nerd theory. It's going to be a good one, dude. It's going to be a good-ass nerd theory. Lots to get into. Lots to talk about. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Much love to y'all. We'll gamble on Monday. We'll gamble on Monday. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh, sorry about that. Yep. Oh, man. What an interesting week. What a wild series of news bits, announcements, excitement. Very interesting week for Star Wars. I'm really tired, guys. I'm really fucking tired. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm really fucking tired. So, I'll see many of you in about an hour. Videos over the weekend. And we'll be back at it again next week for more nerd venging. Remember to open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt.